people the process of how a record was made.
Mhm.
Everybody playing at one time.
Right.
So that was basically the inspiration.
So what was that like putting it together? Did you, seek out, I'm sure you have certain artists you already worked with, but putting the band together and the sound and all that together, how was the process behind putting together a live album? Is it different from recording a regular album, or how does that work?
Yeah, it is different because we let an audience sit in and watch on. Usually when you're doing it, you don't really have a big group of people in there watching you record, and you're able to redo something if you mess up, with a live thing, you're not able to do that. You just got to roll with it. As far as the artists, I just used the people who were on Gumbo, besides Yeba. BJ, the Chicago Kid, is on the regular version. The Hamiltones are. Keon Harrell played trumpet on the regular Gumbo, and I invited Yeba after I saw her do a version of it on Instagram, and that's how she got added to it.
Oh, that's dope.
So and my band was the touring band aside from the orchestra, but the orchestra is who we used on the record as well. So it was family. It was all family that night.
Okay, so you talk about on the Unplugged album about the family experience and how to get it back to the music and how you had to go home to New Orleans to get back to the sound. Do you think that the music industry, the mainstream music industry, is helping or stifling the creative process for a lot of artists?
I don't think mainstream music does it. I think if you as an artist are if you're trying to be in mainstream music that way, then that can stifle the process because with pop music or mainstream music, usually you're trying to capitalize on a trend that's happening, the thing that's popular on radio. So I think that can be stifling. Not saying that a pop artist can be creative, because you can. Usually that's the ones that become successful and have long careers when they're able to stand out. But I think it's just a mindset. If your mindset is, oh, I'm making this so it can be on the radio, as opposed to I'm making this so it can be dope, and then we'll figure out if it can be on the radio. I think those two different processes, make a big difference.
Right. So in that same vein, I know you have a huge gospel background, and you're able to bring those sounds into your music and, those messages into your music without, going full gospel. Has that been something you've done intentionally, or is that just you being you?
Yeah, that's just me being myself. I mean, I don't think that soul music and gospel music are that far apart. One is just they usually make you feel the same way. One is usually talking about love of a person, and one is talking about love of God. So I think with me growing up a preacher's kid, that's just who I am sonically. Sometimes those influences are just there, but I'm always just talking about what I'm talking about. I'm not strategically trying to bring a message in, but not too much. I'm not thinking like that. I'm just being myself.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. It's awesome that you're able to do that too. I wanted to tell you congratulations on the Grammy nomination, and then ask, what your experience was. Were you expecting to, for Gumbo to be so well received, and kind of where you were when you got the call that you had been nominated, and what that experience was like with the nomination?
Yeah, no, I didn't really have any expectations. I mean, I always am, like cautiously hopeful. I don't want people to not like something, but I don't know if I thought it was going to get the reception it did, because I really didn't make it thinking about anybody else. I'm like, this time I'm going to just do everything I want to do. And, that's a crazy place to be, because if somebody doesn't like it, and you fully being you, then it ain't nothing you can do about it. They just don't like you. So it was really vulnerable, but no, I didn't expect this reception that it's gotten. And then the Grammy nominations, getting those, I mean, I had gotten a nomination for Best R&B Song before. So that one, while they all mean a lot, that one I was used to. But when I got Best R&B Album as well, that's really what kind of got me, because I'm so proud of the body of work. So for it to be acknowledged like that was a big deal for me.
Okay, great. How do you deal with these Stevie Wonder comparisons? Is that a lot of pressure? Do you thrive in it? How do you feel about that?
No, I mean, I mean, if I'm gonna be compared to somebody, being compared to Stevie Wonder is not so bad. I'm okay with it. I don't let it put any pressure on me. I'm just doing me, and I've just been heavily influenced by him. But no, I don't. I know he knows that I'm not trying to be him. He's just influenced me heavily, and I've been my first Grammy nomination as a solo artist was alongside Stevie Wonder. So I look at it as me carrying on a tradition, a torch that he set, and I'm proud. I'm proud to be compared to him. It doesn't bother me at all.
That's awesome. One of our themes over at Cosign Magazine is, who do you co-sign? Who do you see as up and coming talent? So are there any artists who you look to where you feel like are the future of the R&B space that you're like really impressed by and, you want to see more from?
Yeah, what have I been listening to? I listen to a lot of music. I know my guy Aaron Ray had a dope project that he put out. This guy that I have on tour with me, Brick Liam, he put out a dope project as well. And my girl Texas, signed to Rico Love. I think she's gonna do some special things in R&B as well.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of her. I've been following her for a minute. So yeah, that's a great list to put together. So I'm sure you've heard this before. If anybody who you could collaborate with, past or present, somebody who might be, beyond the grave, or who would you work with in an ideal situation? Would you want to work with, right now, if you could?
Well, I used to have an easy answer for that, which was Stevie Wonder, and then I worked with him, and then
right.
Kind of like,
so bucket list is done. Okay.
But I'd love to work with a Pulitzer Prize winner, Kendrick Lamar. I think me and Chance could do something dope. Those are two that come to mind.
Yeah, I would love to hear you and Chance on a track. That would be amazing.
Yeah,
all the feels.
Me too, man. I'm gonna work on that.
Well, we'll put that energy out in the atmosphere. So tell me about the tour. So you've been on touring for Gumbo a little over a year now. So how has that been, and kind of the difference between being on your own tour versus when you were on tour with Maroon 5?
Yeah, no, tour has been great, especially this Gumbo run, because of the reception of the album. The reception to the shows has been crazy. A lot of sold out shows, and it's just a blessing. I mean, I the difference between Maroon 5 and my solo stuff is that, these people are singing my lyrics. They're singing my songs that I've put together. And Maroon, I play a different position, which is being a part of a band, which is also amazing, but it's a different thing altogether. Of course, we're playing much bigger places. And I get to play a backseat role in that. I don't have to run everything like I do on my solo tours. I just play my keyboards and sing my background vocals, It's a good time to be a part of a unit.
Okay, well, that's great. So moving forward, what else can we expect to hear from you in the next year or so? Are you working on any new projects? I don't know if you can talk about it, but what's on the pipeline? When the tour is over, what's next for you right now?
Well, I'm gonna work on some other artists. I got my label Morton Records in New Orleans, and I have some artists that I'm gonna be putting some music out on before the end of the year. And I'm gonna put out some new music too. I'm just working. I'm just writing while we're on the road, and so it'll be a lot of newness soon.
Yeah, is that a good avenue for you to be creative while you're on the bus or while you're on the road? Does it help your creative process, being able to just kind of be in the moment and write?
Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. It's just you got to create a space for yourself. Sometimes when we're in cool cities or cool environments where I can set up and work to focus and write. So sometimes I'm lucky. So we'll see. We'll see what happens while I'm out on the road right now.
Okay. Well, I'm hoping that we can get Gumbo 2 or another fire project out of you, because this run has been amazing. The live and the live version of it is equally as amazing. I want to thank you for giving us the time to speak today. Just for the sake of the interview, you want to tell us, where to find you, how to download the music, what the project is, so that we can use that for a drop.
You want me to do it as a drop, you said?
Well, yeah, or just tell us, where to find you on social media, how to get a hold of the music, what platforms it's on.
Okay, on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, I'm at PJ Morton. That's PJ Morton. On Facebook, I'm DPJ Morton. The website is www.pjmortonmusic.com. You can get the music there. You can get vinyls there. You can get merchandise there. So y'all look me up.
Okay, great. And I don't know if you have any final thoughts that you want to give to your fans. Like I said, Cosign is very big about people endorsing other people and sharing the love. So if you want to endorse anybody, shout out any of your artists on, things we should be listening for, people we should be looking out for, you can take the opportunity to do that as well.
Well, just catch me on tour. On the More Gumbo tour, we'll be to a city near you. And also my opening act, Rick Liam, who's out there with me, the Moors, who are singing background with me, are amazing artists. And that's the truth. You see all of those on tour with me. So y'all buy some tickets and come out to the show.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, PJ. I'll be at your show, and when you're here in Dallas, I'm in Dallas. So at the end of the month, so I'm excited about it. And I want to thank you so much for giving us, this quick little 10 minutes. You don't have to do that. We know you're super busy, so we want to thank you for taking the time to speak to the Cosign Magazine.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.